Hi, welcome to my stream. My name's Maris Rey. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Let me get you a second to get to know me, huh? I am a water dragon, born in your world's waters. Hi, welcome to my stream. My name's Maris Rey. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Let me get you a second to get to know me, huh? I am a water dragon, born in your world's waters. So for today's stream, we're going to be playing a bit of Genshin Impact to start the day, before we transition over to maybe League of Legends. Maybe a single-player game of some type. But for now, we got dailies to do, baby. Let's see. We need to do... Right now, I'm leveling up my Guro. So I need to fight the Perpetual Mechanical Array a few times. As you can see, I finally got my Geo team almost raring to go. To get you a little more acquainted with myself, well, my Genshin Impact account particularly, as of right now, I am mostly a light spender. I only purchase the Welkin Moons and the occasional Battle Pass. I like to keep it light. Though I am not opposed to going a little harder for characters that I particularly admire. The one character that I don't have, that thanks to the current event, the Misty Dungeons, I do not have Kazuha. And being able to play as Kazuha was a dream come true. I really like Kazuha, and I can't wait for him to potentially have a rerun. I would love to have him again someday. Okay, well, I noticed I set the navigation and then didn't go. Oh, let me actually get to... Huh? That's not the right one.
All the world holds dear.
Okay. So, as for my Ito, first of all, his talents are not all the way... I'm planning to triple crown him, but he's not quite there yet. I'm still working on his artifact set, to be honest. He does not have the best defense sands in the world. Most of the other artifacts are like kinda okay. The circlet and the sands is what I'm working on the most, though. I'll need to spend more resin invested into that. But at the moment, there's nothing for me to really do for Ito today, so I'm planning to work on my Guro. I didn't know going into Guro that I would need to keep the Exile set. So for now, he'll be running Exile Emblem of Severed Fate until we can find an artifact set that suits him better. Let's see, could probably just run National.
I'll bring my seasonings. May knowledge guide you.
National's always pretty good for things that don't resist it.
There is no escape. Let me weave you a verse. Huh? I'm going in.
shame I didn't have my ultimates lined up before.
Let's light it up.
But he's probably going to transform soon,
Illusion shattered.
so we're better off just waiting.
Get them. Shine down. Absurd. Teamwork is dreamwork. Ring cutter. Know my sword. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
Probably could have got Shangwing's ultimate involved, but I didn't realize it was up in time.
Let me weave you up. Torn to oblivion.
Oh, whatever works. For those who are new to Genshin Impact, when attempting to level up a character, you do need to farm boss material from... The boss varies per character, but in Guro's case, I need these perpetual hearts that drop from the mechanical array machine that we just fought. So there is a time limit between each time you can attempt to fight the boss. So in this case, the boss will be respawning in a minute. So in between these boss attempts, we'll be doing my daily commissions as well. That's just the most efficient way to use this time. Pulling for this character, the one I'm running with at the moment, her name is Raiden Shogun. And she, spoiler warning for those who are unaware, but she is the Archon, the Electro Archon of the Inazuma region. And she's, so far, has been one of my favorite characters released. Although Kazuha might be giving her a run for her money. I absolutely love Kazuha. Well, at the moment, I'll say, I haven't really got to play as my Ito yet because he's still being leveled, but I absolutely adore Ito. I was initially thinking about potentially skipping Ito, to be honest, until we actually got his voice actors announced. And I'm particularly fond of his Japanese voice actor because that guy is TM Revolution, and I absolutely love that man. He plays one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite anime, Soul Eater. And as soon as I found out that he was the voice behind Japanese Arataki Ito, I knew I had to have him. Whether he was going to be good or not was irrelevant to me. And I gotta say, every version of Ito's voice actor, every language I should say, is absolute perfection. I love each and every one of them for their own uniqueness. I am so pleased with Arataki Ito's voice actors. Yeah, here at my stream, we don't really follow a particular meta. We'll play and pull for whatever characters happen to look cool to me. Now, in particular, I think most of the characters look pretty cool in Genshin Impact. As example to that, I pulled for Sanganohara Kokomi, even though she might not have been the best portrayed to the more competitive side of Genshin Impact, but that doesn't really hold any weight to me. I loved her in the story, how little she may have shown, and I personally love the fact that they decided to start weaponizing certain stats. Like in Raiden Shogun's case, they weaponized her energy recharge, which just makes her whole character feel way too smooth to me. I absolutely adore it. Whereas in Kokomi's case, they started weaponizing her healing bonus. So she's actually capable of being a support that doesn't completely waste her time when on the field. So she is capable of assisting with your damage. And even outside of that, she's fairly reliable for proccing Hydro reactions in any way, shape, or form. So overall, I mean, Kokomi might not be the biggest damage dealer in the West, but she certainly is a name worth knowing, I think. That's why I had to have her as well.
No, my sword. Illusion shattered. Nice and spicy.
Okay, another commission done. So for today, at least for the Genshin impact part of things, since there isn't too much for me to do, as you can see, I am AR-57, so I've not been the most dedicated player, but when it comes to games like Genshin Impact, sometimes the constant repeatable dailies feels like it might make a game a little boring for you. And if that's the case, it's okay to take a break. The game will still be here when you come back. That's what happened to me. I happened to be taking a break over over Kadahara Kazuha's initial release. However, in Genshin Impact, they have been known to do rerun banners as of late. And so now I can just save my Primo Gems, which is this game's premium currencies, to potentially wait for Kazuha to return one day. That's when I am most anxious. Most excited for Kazuha. I do think he's going to be the anime character that's going to have a permanent slot in my team. I don't know, I do have, like, Venti, who is the Animal Archon, but I rarely use Venti outside of the Spiral Abyss, and really he's only there because he's a part of the Morgana team, which the Morgana team is a freeze team, which utilizes Hydro and Cryo Swirls. But Venti makes the overworld feel a little too fast. I do like to take my time and enjoy this beautiful game whenever the opportunity presents itself. People may have their grievances with Genshin Impact's endgame or lack of content, but I personally don't see any issue with it. There may be content that will come as it comes, but I just kind of like to let the flow of things take me. I say, what's the rush? We don't really need to rush anything here. Genshin Impact, to me, always seemed like it was meant to be more of a side game and harder to be oh, this boss hasn't even respawned yet. And not really a main game of sorts, which in itself is fine. Not every game needs to be your main game. I think Genshin Impact is a fine game to be a side game, so maybe you just will play for 15 minutes. If that's the case, then it is what it is. 1 second.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn.
So maybe you just will play for 15 minutes.
Transitory.
Okay, sorry about that. So in this case, when it comes to Genshin Impact, I do prefer to consider this more of a side game, which is why I haven't at times put too much money into it, though as initially stated, I am not opposed to spending a little here and there on perhaps my favorite characters from time to time. So Genshin Impact at some point had a trailer which displayed all of the main regions and characters that might be associated with those regions. So in this case, the main region that we're in here is Mondstadt, with this region starting from about right here to here is all a part of another region called Liyue. So Mondstadt has its Animal Archon, where Liyue has its Geo Archon. Each region has an element attached to it. And finally, the most recent release so far has been Inazuma, which has its Electro elements tied to it, with the Raiden Shogun being the Electro Archon leading this nation. But in the trailer, which is official content, by the way, it's not fan-made, they displayed particular characters that might be related to the future areas that we'll be going to. The next area that we're surmised to go to, based off of potential hints from the Inazuma story, is Sumeru, which is the Dendro Archon, or the Dendro region. Which at the moment, Dendro is not a playable element, but it's predictable that we could probably play as Dendro by then. But after Sumeru, I suspect we might go to Fontaine, which is the realm of the Water Archon. Now, the character that was displayed for Fontaine's teaser was these twins. I'm familiar with their name. And the twins have a particular bearing to me that reminds me of Rin and Len Kagamine, the Vocaloids. And those are some of my favorite Vocaloids of all time. So I am thrilled that those characters might potentially be released someday. And so outside of Kazuha, I'm going to be saving most of my Primo Gems for those twins. I don't know how the twins will be portrayed, perhaps, but I do hope that they'll be a duo character and not like a Fischl and Oz type of situation. I don't really know how that would work with this game's mainframe and all this, the combat mechanics, but I'm sure Mihoyo will figure it out. So I do have a little bit of extra farming that I need to do in Genshin Impact today, outside of just my usual spending resin and moving on. I do need to farm some of the items that I need to ascend my Guru to his next levels, which comes from some of the monsters in Inazuma, because he is an Inazuma character. So we'll be doing that in between these bosses as well. This boss costs 40 resin, or most of the overworld bosses cost 40 resin to obtain their treasures, which the treasure is the most important part. That's how I'm getting these perpetual hearts that I need for my Guru. And Genshin Impact has a rate of, I believe it's 8 minutes per resin, with 160 resin cap that you can have at any one moment. So what the typical player will do is just spend their daily resin as they're getting it, assuring that they don't cap, because if they cap, then they can't generate any more. So they spend their resin and then move on. However, there are things we can do on a daily basis, like farming these monsters that I'll need to farm. Normally, I could just run this team to conquer anything, but to be honest, I need to use I need to use my Ganyu for this team because I can't... I don't like fighting these balloons. They fly away. They're very annoying. Ganyu Shogun. Kokomi, fish on hand,
Time
something
to
like
begin
that.
work?
And technically, MiHoYo has released an official map which shows every possible spawn of every possible mob or entity that respawns on a daily basis. Or actually, they respawn every 12 hours. But I find that so long as you're actually just farming the mobs that appear in the book, like I just marked, that you should have enough resources to build any unit that you might need, so long as you have ample time to prepare for them. In this case, I'm not really building my Geo team in any type of rush, because my Geo team will ever be done until my Arataki Ito has appropriate artifacts, so I can kind of take my time and just slow farm with for my Guro. And so Genshin is not a rush type of game. You could just casually enjoy it. There's so much to this game, there's no point in really rushing. I could understand the desire to rush with the initial, like, overwhelming feel of the game coming into such a large world for free. But that's everything in moderation. So I'm mostly farming these specters because Guro here needs these spectral hearts, which drops only from these specters. It makes it a little bit annoying to farm because I do not like these specters. These specters make me wish that one of the characters that I did unfortunately have to skip for as well was this character here. Let me show you. Yoimiya. Yoimiya is a fire element archer character who was unfortunately in between Kamisato Ayaka and Raiden Shogun herself, and these characters were must-haves for me. Really, what it came down to was both of these characters had a story quest that released at about the same time, and after going through the story quests, I knew once Ayaka got to the fan dance, I knew at that moment I had to pull for Ayaka. Her story quest felt a little more special versus Yoimiya's quest, which was just, you're kind of just running around with some kids. It didn't really feel like you were really getting to know Yoimiya at all. I do regret not having her, and of course I will try to pull for her if a rerun ever occurs for her. But it is my priority to save for Kazuha and then the Fontaine twins.
Next time, illusion shattered. Rust and remit. Odds revealed by no touching.
So in this game, there are characters like this Spectre who... This particular Spectre is a water element. So... And my Sanganomiya Kokomi is a water element based caster. So you might wonder, or you might have noticed that when I cast her Jellyfish, that it didn't actually do any damage, because elements nullify elements in this game. But the reason I still cast my Kokomi's Jellyfish is she's actually equipped with the Tenacity of the Millilith artifact set, which its 4-piece set states that when my elemental skill hits an opponent, it increases the attack of my active party member. Which, that's really all I'm using her for.
Shine down. By royal decree.
So even though she's not doing any damage, she's still at least helping my other members do more damage. Now, to be honest, some of these characters that I'm using, I haven't put nearly enough investment into them. Like my Fischl Fischl was one of the first characters I obtained because she was on the very first premium banner that came out, which was Venti's. So she was the first 4-star character that I pulled, and she was my carry for the first half of my Genshin career. But as of late, I haven't really had a place for her. I've just been a bit lazy with farming for her. So she doesn't really do the most damage on my team. And she's really only in this team because she does passive damage with Oz. And she gives Electro Resonance to my Raiden Shogun, so my Raiden Shogun can get her ult more often. Which is slightly irrelevant because I haven't casted my Raiden Shogun's ult a single time. I'll cast it here. Raiden Shogun is one of my most invested characters, so I do like showing her off from time to time. Again, I've never rolled even a single time on the 5-star weapon banners, because I don't really feel like that's worth it for somebody who spends as much as I do. If I was a larger whale, I would consider it, but I'm still capable of where is it? I'm still capable of 36 starring the Spiral Abyss, even without a single very relevant 5-star weapon. So I think I'm fine. Although I will tell you, Arataki Ito's 5-star weapon does have me feeling some kind of way. Because that thing, I think it's the first like real 5-star crit damage Claymore, and that thing gives a whopping 88% crit damage to Arataki Ito, which is extremely relevant because when characters ascend, they have a specific stat that they ascend with. So when you come to a character stat, you can't really tell here, but in Arataki Ito's case, his crit rate rises naturally with his levels. So I think he gets an extra 25% crit rate just for being level 90, which is insane. So combining that with like an 88% crit damage sword makes his damage absolutely ridiculous. I've seen some clips of what somebody's fully built, crowned Ito's damage is capable of appearing. Oh man, I really don't like these Spectres. And I see some people hitting 60Ks on crit charge attack from Ito, and I know I won't hit damage like that, but oh man, it just gets me excited to build my Ito a little bit more. I absolutely adore my Arataki Ito. And one of the voice lines that came out for Ito, which really helped persuade me to get him, was his birthday voice line in English.
It's an important day.
Oh man,
the gang away, otherwise they'd be accusing me of favoritism. Here, take a look at this. I got you the greatest birthday gift combo ever. 1 top-grade Oni Kabuto. I'll have you know it took me 3 whole days and nights to catch this bad boy. 1 out-of-print collectible trading card that took me 300 rounds to get my hands on. And finally, a birthday song performance performed personally by yours truly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear traveler. Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah, when I heard that one, I knew he was mine already. I instantly knew I had to have him. As soon as Arataki Ito came out, I had exactly enough rolls to hit Hard Pity twice, which in this game, a roll costs 1 Fate, and a Fate costs 160 Primo Gems per roll. There is no discount for the 10 roll, so this is just 1600 Primo Gems. So I had exactly enough to pull 180. So I knew for sure that I could get Arataki Ito. Because one thing that I can tell you is my luck when it comes to these gacha games is absolutely atrocious. I hit Hard Pity every single time. Oh, well, I guess I never explained what that is. So Hard Pity in this game is 90. with the soft pity, I believe, being around 70 to 75, which means to say that most people would get their 5-star character at around 70 to 75, but you are absolutely guaranteed to get a 5-star character by the 90th pool. And as soon as you get a 5-star character, the pity resets on that very pool. So the unit that you get directly after the 5-star counts as one roll, moving on towards the next pity. And I always hit hard pity without fail. Oops, this might be a little high. I think my Raiden Shogun might die here. Rest in peace, Raiden Shogun. I didn't mean it. Oh, she's fine. You see, Kokomi's a healer, so this is totally okay. She's a weaponized healer, which, even though she doesn't do, like I said, the most damage, I do not regret pulling for her even a little bit. She makes my overworld experience feel way better. I have to play my Ganyu, even though my Ganyu's not the most well-built unit that I have, because I am trying to build her with Wanderer's Troop to get her. Oh, this thing's getting rid of full health. To get her charge attacks to do more damage, but that artifact set is kind of hard to get perfect rolls on. But Ganyu's quite useful because these mobs like to fly over the water, and at least then I could freeze them. I do hate those specters. I hate them. Absolutely loathe those specters. Why they can fly away tilts me. So here I could finally show you Ganyu's ultimate. Quite an amazing ultimate, but it doesn't really do much here, to be honest, but it's fine. The ultimate... One of Ganyu's Ascension talents is that any unit who stands within her ultimate's area of effect, like I currently am, gets, I believe it's a 20% cryo damage bonus. Let me see. Yeah, 20% cryo damage bonus. So that does include herself. She does boost her own charge attacks cryo damage bonus by 20%. You see, my charge attacks, they're really not the most impressive amount of damage, but I can at least kill these things before they ever even get here. These things do make me wish I had Yoimiya, though, because she seems like she could shred these guys. So you have to stand all the way back to try to persuade these guys to come at me. Most annoying creatures to farm in this game. I would line these up with about as annoying as the new wolf units, because basically any unit that just kind of flies around is pretty annoying to fight. Because I kind of wanted them to just stand still and let me beat on them for a while. Before I move on to that one, let me just kill the boy one more time. Use up the last of my resin while we're here. I'm not going to use this team for that, though. National team's always where it's at.
Allow me. I'm going in. Absurd. Torn to oblivion.
That was my mistake. Performed kind of poorly there, because I basically let my Bennett's ultimate go completely to waste.
Adventure time.
Billowing surge. Hold the line.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Eat this.
Illusion shot. Now you shall perish.
Allow me. Boba, get them.
Torn to oblivion.
Raiden Shogun is one of my favorite characters, because every slash that she does in this particular form, which she's only able to do in her ultimate, raises the total amount of energy that all of my other units have. So she helps my other units build their ultimates back, which is the most impressive way to play this game for me. It makes the gameplay feel so much smoother. Everything just feels like it's supposed to be. I like all the characters' ultimates in this game. They make me feel more powerful than I'm normally capable of feeling on my own, because I don't have a lot of 5-star stuff. So just being able to spam ultimates, that's a great feel. Let me go back to the Ganyu team here, back to fighting balloons. I'm officially all out of resin, though in this game you are capable of refilling your resin with these fragile resins, which are typically obtained through the battle pass. There's usually only, you could get about like 5 of them, or something like that. Which again is not the most. And I just used about 30 fragile resins trying to farm my Ito the artifact set that he has. Which, even after 30 fragile resin, I'm still feel like I could not be anywhere close to having perfect artifacts for Ito. The artifact grind in this game is very demanding. You must have a lot of patience. It could take you a long time before you have a very relevant artifact set. But that's fine. There are days I just go by, spend my resin on some artifact domains, and just call it a day.
Born of ice and frost, illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
Rest and rebuild.
So, previously I talked about how Raiden Shogun weaponizes one of the, I guess you could call it, quality of life stats, utility stat, energy recharge. So what energy recharge does is, well, recharges your energy faster for your ultimates. So she gains extra damage. I think it's this one. Yeah, she gains extra electro damage for having extra energy recharge. So having as much energy recharge on her as possible actually makes her stronger, while obviously making her feel better by being able to use her ultimate more often, which her ultimate allows my other characters to have their ultimate more often. She just is the perfect complement unit to me. I couldn't imagine a better unit than this one, at least not for the foreseeable future. I think Raiden Shogun's a fantastic character, and anybody who doesn't have her should think about potentially saving to get her in the future. This is just a great unit. You can mostly just ignore those guys. I'm really only here for these balloons. Balloons, and that's it. To be honest, I haven't really done all the puzzles in Inazuma. Well, actually, I haven't really done the puzzles in the entire world yet. I've been quite a bit lazy when it comes to that. But we'll do them together at some point. Because it always comes down to completing the story first. That's the most important. Wait, don't. Oh, shit. She's gonna drown. Oh man, I didn't think I was completely out of stamina already. So in this game, when you're out of stamina and try to swim, your character will drown. And it's not the most like harmful thing. I mean, drowning's bad. You don't want to drown, but it does take away all of your character's ultimate charges, which is just a mild inconvenience. And we could just ignore that inconvenience with some food. I normally don't use this team outside of balloon farming, so I forget that they don't have any stamina boosting effects for the overworld. You see this guy just remains frozen. We're using freeze units against these guys are particularly nice. Because they're so mobile, you just kind of want to lock them down.
There is no escape.
So, Raiden Shogun has the ability that you could you might be able to see happening over there, that giant purple slash. So, her elemental skill allows herself to assist my units with that slash, which is very nice. It allows him to get free, basically permanent electro procs for whenever she should need it. Whenever your unit should need it. Like, for example, Raiden Shogun single-handedly made an already good unit really good, being Eula. Eula is a physical damage carry that is of the cryo element. Now, when cryo and electro reacts together, they create super conduit, which reduces the physical defense of the mob that's affected by super conduit by 40%. So, by permanently being able to have electro assistance to her, Eula's always able to keep the defense reduction active, which really allows her to hit the highest number she's capable of.
Next on the agenda.
This is a great support unit for Eula. I mean, there's not a support unit there's not a team she's bad at. There was actually clips upon her release of people building her as elemental mastery with Yornia, which looked absolutely hilarious. I really wanted to give that a try, but I'll have to avoid that for now. I mean, realistically, I could give her my Sucrose, his elemental mastery artifacts. His elemental mastery is pretty cheap to build. It wouldn't really be perfect set for her, of course, but it might be fun to try. Because her slash always takes the elemental reaction, because it activates after the skill that hits the enemy. So, like you'll see here, they get well, I don't have it active. They get frozen, and then the slash hits. So, elemental mastery always reacts to the thing that activates last. Let me see, did any of these fall down the waterfall? Yup. Okay. I've been farming these for a few days, so I can tell you already that we're drawing pretty close to the end of farming these balloons. After that, we might move over to farming the other things that Guro needs, but he just needs to farm the Ruin Hunters. And then, honestly, I think my Sango Pearls might be up to farm as well. And if they are, then we'll farm those. And then maybe move it over to a different game of some type. We'll figure that out in a moment. You see, Ganyu's AoE, area of effect of her ultimate, is so large and impressive that she's very viable outside of her charge attack build as being just a casual free support or maybe a reverse melt support. She's just an amazing unit as well. She's still widely considered as the highest DPS unit, at least in the hands of a mostly free-to-play player like myself. Or she might even be highest DPS even beyond that still. But mine isn't, you can rest assured. My Ganyi's still level 80. And I don't have the best artifacts on her. They're all level 20. I tried cryo damage. This is the best cryo damage goblet I could find so far. And this is just not good, but honestly, none of my Wanderer's Trope Sands are really that good. This is not good either, but these are the best that I have. Her rates, they're not the highest, but they get the job done for now. Of course, I'll work on fixing her as time goes on, but at the moment I have more important units to work on. For the longest time, I was using my Ganyu as a free support for my Morgana team for the Spiral Abyss, but ever since Ayaka came out, you don't really need to have Ganyu anymore. You basically either use Ganyu or Ayaka, and I was free to move my Ganyu to this build because my Ayaka is fully built, as she's taken her place as the Cryo unit in the Morgana comp.
Torn to oblivion. Allow me. Shine down.
Sometimes I forget that these things explode when they die. My Raiden Shogun took a bunch of damage. But so long as I stay within my Kokomi's Jellyfish's radius, it does provide me bursts of healing every second or so. One of the many reasons I love... Okay, so you notice there's no more indicators of the balloons. So that was the last balloon that... It's not the last balloon on the entire map, but it's the last balloon that the book is willing to show me. So those particular balloons will respawn again in 12 hours. So let's see, finally my Guro. I believe for his talents he needs... Oh, he needs those as well. It's for this that he needs the Ruin Hunters. Okay. So, my Guro needs a lot of work. He needs way more work than my Arataki Ito does. But it's relevant enough because they both need to be fully built to get the most usage for my Arataki Ito, because these two go hand in hand. Because Arataki Ito weaponizes defense. Let me see. His ultimate turns his defense, or a portion of his defense, into attack, and enhances his geo damage. Where Guro here shares some of their defense when they use their elemental skill or their elemental burst. So you see, his skill enhances per geo member a part of the party. So he is an absolute necessity to anybody thinking of running Arataki Ito, because he gives defense and geo damage, which are both offensive stats to Arataki Ito. Or Noelle. Noelle's another character, the first character that weaponized defense. So my Ito's not done until my Guro's done. And neither of them are done, so I've got quite a ways away. I still got quite a bit of work to do. So for now, we can mostly just farm these Ruin Guards. And then I really won't have much more to do on Genshin today, because there is no event active that's really worth doing. I'm thinking tomorrow we could probably do some of the story quests for these characters. Oh man, this guy's locked behind a puzzle. I haven't done this puzzle. Is it a puzzle? Can I just walk in? Oh, well, you know what? I hope he comes out. Can he walk out of the gate? This is where I'm cursed for not having done all the puzzles on the map. I don't know. Oh yeah, he can walk out, he's fine. So the Ruin Guards have a weakness. You shoot them in the eye and they'll deactivate.
Blaze over. No touching. Hold the line. There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternally.
And just look at how much damage Raiden Shogun does. Oh my goodness, she's so impressive. And I don't have the best Raiden Shogun build out there. I'm using her free 4-star weapon that you were able to get for doing the fishing stuff. Which, I'll tell you, fishing was not fun. Or at least enough to get this max level was not fun. Not enjoyable. And I don't have the best artifact sets for her, but I feel they're good enough. Of course, I could always work on perfection for her. Yeah, to this rate, it's not truthfully the highest because you typically want to have a 1-to-2 ratio. So if I have 50 crit rate, I would want to have about 100 crit damage type of situation. But her weapon does give 12% crit rate to her elemental burst, which is good enough. That puts her at about 48% crit rate. How do I get in there? How would I get in there? How would I do that puzzle normally?
Illusion shattered.
I don't know. That that puzzle lost me. Just go ahead and hunt these ruin guards as needed.
The Winter Shogun approaches.
I think I can go to my more stamina boosting team at least. Nope, that's not the right team. Yeah. Right in. Where Kokomi?
Give me a moment to compose myself.
Now we fly. You fly on over. Dragon Spine, the area that I'm in, this icy mountain, is another region that I haven't completed all the puzzles in. I particularly didn't like when Dragon Spine came out. I wasn't a big fan of the freeze that's happening to my character. You could tell from the blue bar above my HP. As that goes up, once it's full, my character will be inflicted with a, I guess, like a freeze burn. What's that called? Like hypothermia, I guess. They'll start taking damage unless I could find a source of warmth. And it's really not that big of an inconvenience, but it's just enough of an inconvenience for me that I didn't really like the region that much. The story here was fantastic, of course. The story's never bad. As you can hear, it's starting to chime in because my character's starting to... They're really feeling it.
There is no escape. Now you shall perish.
This isn't really the best angle
Illusion
for
shattered.
fighting this thing. I'm kind of just zooming in and out on him here.
Get away. Here we go. Forward. Rest and rebuild.
An easy victory for this team. I'm really happy with this character that I'm currently using. His name is Xiao. He's a character related to the Liyue region. And when it was time for his banner, he's the first and last time that I've ever had a character, or a 5-star, that when I pulled my 10 roll, I actually pulled 2 copies of him. So that I have 1 constellation for him. I was super happy about that. That constellation, to me, feels like it's one of his most important constellations because it allows him to get an extra use of his elemental skill. Ah, well, I wasn't able to stun him in time.
Inazuma shines eternal.
It doesn't really matter. Raiden Shogun will make quick work of him. And as to my previous statement, I don't really try too hard when it comes to my combat rotations. Because I know there will be some people who will say that my Raiden Shogun would do more damage if I would just do her animation cancels, because I believe her best combo was normal attack twice and then charge attack, or dash cancel charge attack. But I don't really care to try that hard. She does enough damage as is. If it ever came down to it where I was in a pinch, I might try it, but I haven't really been struggling with any content. So long as all your characters are level 90 with at least, I want to say, level 7 talents, you'll in general be fine. You won't really need to be much stronger than that.
Time for takeoff. How rude.
I don't really need to fight these guys, but
Hold the line. Here we go.
I don't know where this ruin guard is. Is he above or below me? There's arrows pointing both ways.
Yahoo!
I'll assume he's above me. Well, there is a guy here. This must be the one.
There is no escape.
Let's move out. Rest and rebuild. Yeah.
What a shame. There was a teleporter right here and I didn't realize it.
Think you can get away? Here we go.
Torn to oblivion.
So to another part of Raiden Shogun's passive is for every bit of energy recharge she has over a certain threshold, while she's in her ultimate form, every slash that she does increases my team's elemental burst energy by a certain amount based off of how much energy recharge she has, which I've stated this before, but I just can't get over it. She's such an amazing unit. I'm so infatuated with Raiden Shogun as a character. I still haven't played Raiden Shogun's story quest. Actually, I haven't played almost anybody's story quest. The last one I did play was Ayaka's.
Brace yourself.
But even before Ayaka's, I didn't really play most of the character's story quests, because I figured we could play them together. I couldn't help it though. I had to play Ayaka's. It was a life or death situation. I had to figure out if I was going to pull for Yoimiya or Ayaka. I had never previously been in that situation before.
Allow me.
Shoot him in the eye twice. He gets
Time
stunned.
for takeoff. Let's play.
Inazuma shines
Light
eternal.
work. Oh. She one-shot him. From half HP. Not a real one-shot, but she... I just can't get over it. Easily one of the best units in my opinion. She works as your team's main carry or just a support for your team's true carry. She could work on overload teams that utilize a ranged unit like perhaps Yoimiya or Yanfei, Klee. I don't really think she probably works the best with a melee fire unit like Diluc, because overload tends to knock the monster away. It's probably fine on a larger monster like these Ruin Hunters because they don't have a knockback. So you can just kind of fight them at your leisure with overload.
Yeah. Think you can get away?
Electro has been known to not have the best elemental reactions in terms of damage.
To oblivion.
So in that regard, some people might grade her a little lower than I am. But I didn't ask. I don't care. Still way too impressive to me. I will never grade Raiden Shogun lower than an S tier character. Never, never. Now, Kokomi is graded as like a B tier unit, but I honestly think that she could pass as an A tier unit. her Hydra application, I feel, is at least relevant enough, and people aren't giving it enough credit. It's not too hard to keep enemy units in the jellyfish's radius. And her being able to basically keep up 100% uptime of the tenacity of the Millith artifact set, I think it's rather relevant when grading her. Oh. Is this a boy? Is he gonna activate? Oh yeah, he's with us.
Shine down.
Rest and rebuild.
Think you can get away? Torn to oblivion.
I don't think I scored a critical hit on my ultimate. So Raiden Shogun's ultimate has an initial slash, which which does the front load of its damage. And on that particular slash, I don't think I scored a critical hit. I do have close to a 50% chance to getting a crit, so it's a bit disappointing every time I don't. But it is bound to happen.
Illusion shot.
Time for takeoff.
Inazuma shines eternal.
I forgot to even go to Sha. Oh, that time I scored a critical hit. You said that was a 68k hit. That's big damage. I don't know if I've ever even scored 100k on a hit so far. But I think as soon as I'm able to incorporate Kazuha into my team, whenever I acquire him, fingers crossed, I think I'll finally be able to hit those numbers. I do have the other units required to hit the big damage per screenshot hits. Like, my Bennett's not built in the best way. He's barely works. I mean, he works good enough to still 36 star in the Spiral Abyss, but even he's not perfect. He's a unit I should really work on more, though, because Bennett's widely considered probably the best support unit in the game. He just gives your main characters so much attack, it's ridiculous.
Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered.
Well, that's probably it for my daily farm streak. Let me see, do I have enough to ascend him? One time for the one. Oh no, you know what? I forgot. We need to go see if the Sango pearls are available to farm. Let me see. I need to pull up the map. I forget. I always forget the most optimal way. And in truth, I don't have the most optimal way to do the Sango Pearl route. But that's my own fault, because I haven't done all of the story quests for Inazuma yet. So there's one particular area that I think I already have the quest for, but I can't go get this large batch of Sango Pearls that I can get. And like I said, it's my own fault. I know. But we'll do them at some point. I don't know when, but we'll do them.
Useless.
I feel we probably do still have a decent amount of time before we move on to Sumeru, so I think there's no real reason to rush. Let me see, I don't remember exactly, but I think that up here is the Sango Pearls. Or down here? Yeah. So now... And know that there's... I farmed this route a few... Well, more than a handful of times, because I needed to get these for Kokomi as well, and... Well, it's... Like I said, even while I was farming for Kokomi, I still didn't bother doing the questline to unlock the other about... It's like a batch of 7 Sengo Pearls, I want to say, which is no small amount. When you farm them a handful of times, they add up. So what could I do? I mean, I know the answer to that is the questline, but I don't want to. I don't want to do the questline. I don't mind doing the questline. I'll do it. I'll do it at some point. I can't get over it. Or I can't get past it. The questline will be done. Just not yet. Just not yet.
Useless.
The problem is I do very heavily treat this game as a side game, so I often get the feeling to just go to the next game once I'm done with my dailies. I don't really want to fight these guys. But I know that there's more Sengo Pearls over here. I mean, I wish the Sengo Pearl farming route was a little longer, but really that's about it. There's just 2 more I can claim here. There might be more, but if there is, I don't know about them. Because there's one batch behind a cave, but I can't access it because I haven't done the questline. That's supposed to drop the barrier, waterfall, or whatever's blocking it. But now I should be able to boost my Guru? Yeah, at least one time.
The key to seizing victory.
Okay, we can level him up to 70 here. Honestly, 70 is like not a bad point to take your supports, but because he's going on my Geo team and I want my Geo team to be as close to perfect as possible, I'm going to keep raising him from this point on. I usually don't take my supports to 90, but he's going to be one of the supports that goes to 90. There's just a couple technical dailies that can be done, but realistically, this is probably the end of the Genshin portion of the stream. I just need to see... Spent all my resin to do my cooking, which I usually just make jade parcels. Six bonus, not too bad.
Host an expedition of the adventurers. Add Astro.
I don't remember if these characters are done. And they are. Or, oh man, I guess I just forgot to get Kachin earlier. Now we just claim with this. Oh. That's one of the swords you can get from a world quest in Inazuma, but I've never got. I don't really think I have a character that uses that sword, but if I do, then you know, oops, I'll build it at some point. But for now, I think that's about it for Genshin Impact. Let me claim my Battle Pass rewards. I haven't purchased this Battle Pass yet, but I might. But I haven't. But I might. The Battle Pass is particularly relevant because one of the rewards you can get at level 30, which I'm already past, so I would get it if I bought it. Oh no, where is... Well, I know it's at level 30, but you get the, you get to pick one of these weapons. And typically, these weapons aren't considered, like, that good. But good enough for... These, like... On a per-character basis for DPS, they might be considered, like, a top DPS sword for a 4-star. Obviously, these don't compete with their 5-star counterparts more often than not. But in this particular case, I might need to get the Serpent Spine for my Ito, because my Ito is using a deathmatch. No, not a deathmatch. A Black Cliff Slasher, which is the Paimon Shop sword. Every month, the Paimon Shop, rotates weapons from Royal to Blackcliff. There might be another, but I forget. And the Blackcliff, it's honestly not that good. It's only useful for the fact that it has crit damage as a substat. So let me pull up the boy. So the actual effect of the weapon is not that good. The base attack is not that good. I'm only using it because it has crit damage. It's like a baby version of his weapon. So typically when MiHoYo releases a 5-star character, they release a weapon that goes alongside them. In his particular case, it's this Redhorn Stone Thresher, which is by far his best in-slot weapon. But this is most likely unobtainable for somebody like myself. Like, I barely have enough rolls in me to do 20 rolls, and I do think that the hard pity on Weapon Banner is 10 lower, so I think it hard pities at 80, it probably soft pities at around 60. But the chances of getting not this are high enough that it fills me with a little bit of... It makes me a little too nervous, because I could use the Skyward Harp. I don't really know who I would use it on, to be honest with you, but I know I could use it on somebody. But... I'll hold on. Because chances are, you have to understand, it's my luck. And I am rather unlucky. So, in that case, I would probably just pay the $10 and get him the Battle Pass weapon. Which, if that were being the case, it means I would have to grind up his weapon. But like I said, we're in no rush because I still need to level up my Guro. For my Geo team, I was thinking I would use Arataki Ito as my main carry, with Guro as his main support. And I imagine I could probably use Zhongli, because at some point they buffed his E, his elemental skill, to reduce... Where did it say? I don't know where it says, but it buffs... or it debuffs the enemies that are nearby a unit that's shielded by Zhongli to reduce their resistances by 20%. Which I imagine should help Zhongli do... No, not Zhongli. Arataki Ito do more of his damage. And then I don't really know who's going to be the 4th slot, but I was thinking probably Raiden Shogun. And if not Raiden Shogun, I don't know, maybe I could put like... Kujo Sara or somebody. I don't have her built, but she's just a attack booster. I figured she could probably be fine, or maybe I'll put, like, I don't know, Sucrose, Mona. Some type of support. Some type of support, obviously, because Arataki Ito's going to be the main lad on the team. Okay, well that about wraps it up for Genshin Impact. I don't really know what else we're going to play today, but we'll figure that out right now. I'm imagining it might be League of Legends, though. It just might be League of Legends. So if you could give me just a moment, we'll get that set up. Move straight on over. Let's see. Let's turn that on. Okay, there we go. That video does not look all too clear. You get that resolved. I don't know that much. So me personally, I don't really like playing like ranked League of Legends, so if that's something that you're going to be on about, then, you know, we'll have to figure that out at some point. I'm not big in ranked. I mostly like to play ARAM and whatever for fun mode is going on at the moment. I also do like to play TFT, but I don't know if you would like to see me play TFT. I'm not really that skilled at TFT, to be honest. But it is a whole lot of fun. I do enjoy it greatly. So in this case, we're probably just going to play a bit of ARAM. I do own every character. I play a lot of League. You can see I'm level 436. I could probably play Zoe. I am using an application that does help me with my runes. It just does them for me. Some people will say you should do the runes yourself, but I don't really try that hard in anything, in any game I play. We play games to have fun. And then in an upcoming stream, while we're in this loading screen anyways, let's talk about what the future schedule might be. I probably will take Christmas off. And the stream tomorrow is probably going to be short, if at all. I'll post the schedule onto Twitter later. But we'll probably be starting Pokemon Brilliant Diamond run pretty soon. And I'm imagining myself that it's probably going to be a Nuzlocke run with some minor modifications. I don't know if I'm actually going to do like a full type of Nuzlocke. It might be a Nuzlocke with like a finish line that once I hit it, I'll just play normally or something along those lines. But yeah, that's something that we'll figure out together. Or I guess you're not taking any part in it. I'll figure that out on my own. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But just know we're probably going to be playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond pretty soon. We'll play Pokemon, but in almost every stream that we'll do, I'll probably start with Genshin Impact for about an hour or two. It depends on what we're going to be doing at Genshin Impact, but you can almost always bet that we'll start with Genshin Impact. Nah, let's do this. Start. And before anybody says I don't really want to hear it, I know I don't play. I play lock screen. Okay, deal with it. I don't really care. I've always played lock screen. I'll continue to play lock screen. It's perfectly fine. Anybody who's not too keen on playing League of Legends, if you haven't seen the Star Guardian trailer with, I think it's called Light and Shadow, oh man, it's a very great trailer. It very heavily reminds me of, like, Pola Magi Madoka Magica. So this character that I'm playing, Zoe, she's considered a burst mage, and her main way of killing people is by hitting them with that bubble that I'm throwing, and it puts them to sleep. Because while they're sleeping from my bubble, they take bonus damage, which wakes them up. So the idea is, you sleep them, and then you throw out this paddle star, which the paddle star's main way to deal damage is, it says the further it flies, the more damage it'll do. So the idea, again, to reiterate, is to put them to sleep, and then hit them with the farthest range paddle star I can. You gotta be a bit quick with it, but it does get a bit easier when I'm level 6. Right now I'm level 4. The particularly interesting thing about her bubble is it can travel through walls. I might be in a bit of trouble here. Yeah. Our team is a level 6 team by the looks of things. They kind of have us on the poking game. But you see that damage? That was 1 Q with half an item. When I get more items than this, that Q might do 75% of their health. I might be dead here. Yeah. That's my fault. I didn't think I was gonna get hit by Vigar's Cage, but I also kind of struggle to see it on this map. Or I guess in general on that skin. I have colorblind mode on, but still doesn't really help me too much. I do struggle with a little bit of red deficiency, red and yellow deficiency. Neptune. There's nothing I can do about it. There's flashes everywhere, but I can't access any of them. I'm not level 6 yet. My level 6 doesn't really do like this amazing ultimate like somebody else's ultimate might do. But it just allows me to do this little jump. One of probably the most fun thing about this character is that she could pick up. So first of all, if I kill a minion that has a little balloon on him, that balloon's only relevant to me and my character. Well, I died for it, but I died to show you. So I can pick up those summoner spells, which is a pretty big deal. Summoner spells typically have pretty high cooldown because of how much impact that they're able to give to any one player at any one time. So the fact that Zoe can pick up an almost infinite amount of summoner spells so long as they're available to her, it's a really important part of her character come later on. And it's really fun when you could really start chaining all the summoner spells. It's a great deal. Don't forget to hydrate. It's important to stay a hydro, homie. So right now, I'm kind of running it down a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay to run it down in ARAM. So long as you don't play bad the whole time. Oh no, don't do it. Don't jump on me. Like, you see that damage? Oh no, I messed that up. It's been a little while since I played this character. It has been a little while. I mostly play ARAM, which is random characters. You know what? I just realized I should probably move me. Should probably get on over to the other side. This side's a little less relevant in this game. In Genshin Impact, I do go to the other side because I don't want you to see my user ID. I don't know if it's relevant, but I heard in Genshin Impact at some point in time that people were able to steal your account information just by knowing your user ID. I don't know how true that is, but just on the side of caution, I didn't want to show anybody my user ID. See that damage? That's what I'm talking about. I have 0 kills right now, but I'll get kills. I'm not worried about that. It's just a matter if I can get kills. before I feed every time. I probably could have killed her if I flashed. Just, oh, help me. Okay. Not my best performance, but that's fine. Like I said, we're scaling. I'm coping with this. I say it's fine, so it's fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. So, in League of Legends, the general goal is to break each other's nexus, which is that big crystal thing on either side of the map. So they're cracking down our turrets, which is going to help them in the long run get to our nexus, of course. And we haven't really even scratched... Well, I guess we took their turret to half health. Alright, killed her. She's an important person to really make sure I'm focusing, because she does a lot of the poke damage for the enemy team. We did it. It's a shame because our Lissandra might have gotten a pentakill if I didn't kill the Kaisa first. But that's a little bit hindsight. Of course, would want my teammate to get a pentakill. It's always exciting to get a pentakill, and it doesn't really matter what game mode you're playing. Pentakills are always exciting, and I kind of denied her one, but how could I have known that she was going to get one? Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. Ah, it's a shame. I was so focused on not getting hit by that Kazakh snowball. Well, so about the UID, it's not something that I'm 100% certain of. It's something that I had heard on like the different social forums. And mind you, this was about a year ago at this point, I imagine. Or maybe some, like 1.4 or something. This was a long time ago that I heard it. I just don't know if it's... I never knew if it was true. I've just always been a little concerned about it. I have, like... I want to say a pretty secure information. And as I always try to have. Oh, we're going. Oh, we're going. You see, I told you I'd get some kills. You just needed a little bit of time. The important thing in any game is to have fun. Now, for some people, having fun means winning, and that's okay too. Oh, this isn't good. I could maybe do one more big attack. Ah, I missed. It's okay. In this game mode, in ARAM, we're not able to recall like we normally can to our base to buy. So, me dying here, it's a tragedy to be sure. But I am able to buy, so I could get just a little bit stronger for my next life. Once I complete this Rabadon's death cap, I could probably get to truly one-shotting somebody. It is why I love playing this character. And if I could get even one kill, it'll help our Lissandra do her passive, which is happening right there, the Frozen Thrall. In this case, her passive didn't really change anything, but it has the potential to be. I've seen Lissandra's get a whole penta and quadra kills off of just her passive. You see, now I have the gold to go buy my Rabadons, but I can't go back to get it, so I just have to wait until next death. I didn't know that my Lysandra was going to do what she did. You know, to be honest, I thought that was going to do a bit more damage, but I would rather do as much damage to him as I can before I die, because if he doesn't fully heal off of that, then he's going to stay that weak for the most part, because he doesn't have any major source of recovering his life outside of maybe he might have Ravenous Hunter. And I know his W can heal him if he activates it at close range, but I don't think his team's going to offer him many opportunities to do that, so he's going to mostly stay that weak. You see how weak he's staying? I'm just a little gold short, so I'm going to wait a couple seconds to get my Blighting Jewel. Getting magic penetration, even if they don't have magic resistance, it adds a great deal of damage. Which they all have at least a little bit of magic resistance, so having a little bit of penetration is going to go a long way.
An enemy has been slain.
See, I'm pretty sure my team has this game down at this point. I can pick up my spoils of war, all these little summoner spells. I see what's going on with my team over here, but you see, he thinks he can kill me, but I have so many flashes. I'm a little unconfident, so I'm not going to try to fight him on my own. That was big. Our Yasuo player is actually quite talented. You see that? So long as I can get one big hit off, it'll help the team so much. Because the team could just do one big attack with something. Like, I hit that Ashe with one time, and they were able to take the kill after that. Very satisfied with my performance. I didn't really do much. As you'll see, I'll show the damage. I doubt I did much at all. But that's okay. You don't always need to be the hero. In truth, I probably should have gave the honor to Lysandra. I think Lysandra might have been part of the reason we won this game. I did okay damage. Not as high as I think I could have been, but yeah. We don't pay attention to the post-game chat. One thing that you'll notice if you don't play League of Legends and are ever thinking about it is the stereotypes are true. League of Legends is a very toxic game. There is a lot of tomfoolery that goes around in this game. And I personally don't really like to take part in it. I like to consider my team as mostly just a bunch of bots. GG, thank you. Yeah. We take these dubs. You got Lulu again. I don't really want to play Lulu. I like to play supports, but I like to play somebody that's more engaged, like Volibear here. I tend to play, if I do play Summoner's Rift, I tend to play top lane. So you could let that speak for itself for my playstyle. Of course, my favorite character to play is Singed, but I can't help it. I love Singed, especially after his performance in Arcane. Wow, anybody who hasn't seen Arcane should definitely consider seeing it. That is a masterpiece of a show. I loved every second of it. Let me duck here so you can see that what support they're playing. Yeah, but get out of the way. I'm playing Volibear. I do like Volibear. I had when his battle pass came out to get this skin, it was I think it was the world's battle pass, but it was in the same battle pass that came out with the I don't remember who was the other character. I think it might have been Academia Leona or somebody like this. But I didn't know who the second skin was going to be, and I needed to have the first skin, the Leona skin. I must have it. I had to have it. So I bought it, but at the time I wasn't playing enough League to be able to get both skins, which was that was a true shame. I really wanted to have that skin. I liked this skin, but man, that Red Emperor, Dragon Emperor, whatever skin it's called, that's a beautiful skin. I wish I had. Beautiful skin. But I assure you, based off their team, I have another Vigar. I'm not really looking forward to this gameplay. You're going to see the same thing you saw last game. I'm about to run it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we do have these two, which I'm imagining they'll team up to become the greatest alt users in the West. We'll see. It depends. I kind of have high hopes for this Misfortune. I hope she builds like lethality, but chances are she's going to build AP. Ability power. Magical. And I don't personally like seeing ability power Misfortunes on ARAM, though I do understand the appeal of it. I do get it, and I've played it a fair bit myself. But I personally think just trying to land that big magical ultimate, that big team-winning ultimate, is way more important than landing a little bit of her bullet rain here and there. I think the biggest honor anybody could ever have is figuring out who the Yumi's going to attach to. Because the Yumi, she's a support that kind of just binds herself to somebody for a while. And the greatest honor is the Yumi recognizing who's the best person on the team. Sometimes you might feel one type of way about who's the best. But when Yumi feels you're the best, that's a great feeling. When she doesn't want to hug anybody but you. That's what I strive for. I want to be Yumi's. I want her to recognize me. Let's see, during the early parts of ARAM, it's always just a little slower. So I think that's why most people don't end up liking ARAM that much, because it's mostly just this back and forth of filling each other out. Seeing... It's basically a demonstration of who's the worst. It's just waiting to see who's the guy who's going to run it down first. And I don't want to be that guy. But it looks like we have our winner. Let's see, Misfortune. I don't know, she still could be going anything. This doesn't really tell me much. She could be going AD or AP, I don't know. No, I can't really help them. They have a lot of like cages between Yorick and Vigar. So they have a lot of zone denial. So I can't really just walk around as I please. I assure you, you made a mistake coming on me, Yumi. We gotta get out of here. Okay, Yumi got off of me and I don't blame her for it. I would have gotten off of me too. She put all of her trust in me by jumping on me, and then I almost got her killed. I'm gonna run back and get this healing thing while I get a drink of water. Yeah, ARAM always gets kicking once everybody's level 6, and then it's a lot more interesting. It's during this initial part, especially if both teams just have a bunch of wave clear, it gets a little annoying to play ARAM. Because then, it's like, look at what the Misfortune and the Swain are having fun. I just have to sit here and wait until it's my time to shine. I don't really have anything I can do. I can just press E on people from far away. I'm just sitting here. That's fine too. I know my time will come. It's during these times though when I start getting the urge to run it down. Get away from me. I don't like having these urges, but they come. They come at exactly this time. I need to go. I need to tower dive them. I can't resist. Okay, you know, good enough. At least we traded a kill. Again, I don't really need to be the hero. I just need to be somebody that gets the thing started. If I go 0 and 10, but feel like I participated fine, that's still a win to me. At the end of the day, by an inch or a mile, a win's a win. It was just necessary to clear the urge. Now I'm clear-minded again. I'm no longer focused on running it down. I do know that typically Volibear maxes their W first, but there's just, I don't feel like I'm ever going to have time to W people. Not when they have all this zone denial. I'm never going to get to press W. But I need to build as if I'm still going to be a tank, because I think we'll need a tank later on. You see, it's okay to run it down if your teammate runs it down first, because then you're just following their decision. You're no longer making a bad play. You're making a play together. Alright, I gotta tell you, the urge is coming back already. As I see that Senna in the back there is getting particularly low, I feel like I can get her. Oh. But Volibear has such a long ultimate timer. And I basically landed and died last time, so I'm a little cautious now. And they're taking the full force of my E right now. It's not much, but they're taking the full force of it. The team, I feel, is relying on me to go, but I can't really go yet. This was kind of a dire situation, because Misfortune has no health, Yumi has no mana. I'm kind of waiting on Misfortune's ultimate before I go, because I feel like we'll only win if she can land a good ultimate. And I also don't really know who to dive for. But you know what? That probably wasn't it. I didn't even get my ultimate up. I realized that this is a problem that I continuously have, and why I know I wouldn't make it if I played Rain. Is that I forget. I think my thoughts, but I forget to tell my team what I'm thinking. I think what I'm thinking inside, but I don't vocalize it. I forget to tell them that I want to go in. Or when I'm about to go in. I just see the play and I try to enact on it. That's my fault. I just can't help it. The urge is growing. And I didn't get satisfied off of that. I still want to run it down. But what could I do? I feel a little lost in this match right now. probably the end of what I can do. They all still have flash. Oh yeah, we got him. Alright, not bad. Yeah, I know. I'll die for it. I would recommend Yumi not be on me. Like, I personally love the Volibear rework, but I did kind of like the old Volibear as well. I feel that way for a lot of the reworks. Like, I do miss like old Urgot and old Aatrox, though I do love their current forms. I just can't help it. It's a bit nostalgic. Oh man. Yeah, that was it for me. I knew I was done there. I think the sooner I can get Warmogs, the better, because Warmog's armor, once I have a certain amount of bonus health, it'll allow me to restore health per second once I'm out of combat for 8 seconds. Which in this game mode is particularly good, because usually the match comes down to who pokes the other team the best. But Warmog's armor will allow me to kind of nullify that factor for me, and only me. Because it'll allow me to heal up where I would otherwise have gotten weaker from all of their chip damage that they're doing to me. Oh man, you see, I was right to put faith in this Miss Fortune. She's really going. Man, you know, I have no excuse for that one. I just kind of ran it down. I saw Miss Fortune's damage and I thought we had the world together. I felt unchallengeable. But I forget I'm not that strong. I get like a little more protective when I play ARAM because I feel like I get a little overwhelmed by playing against 5v5 all the entire time. But when I would play Volibear top lane, for example, I feel like it's definitely more appropriate to build a more fighter-ish playstyle, like with some type of attack speed and a Sheen item of some type, or Divine Sunder. I think feels way better. I've even tried Lethality Volibear at some point in time, and that also was a lot of fun. It's way worse than his other builds, but it is a lot of fun. Wow, this Miss Fortune is something else. I'm so glad that Miss Fortune's going lethality. He's exactly what I was hoping for. Heimerdinger whiffed his ultimate. That's really good for us. I think we probably have this game under control. I don't really foresee a way that the enemy can beat us. No, I can't really enter the fray with my team. I just kind of have to sit here. I'm just going to sit here and beat on their inhibitor. Oh, I have Warmogs. I can actually just leave and be okay. Oh, I feel that one swing. Now he feels like he needs to go in. Oh, what? You know, so long as he's actually... He's you know, don't mind what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought Swain was gonna stay out. I didn't see that he snowballed in. I didn't know that. I didn't see. That's my fault for playing with a lock screen, I guess. I felt like he had some sunken cost there because he used his ultimate and he didn't want to feel like he wasted it, so he felt he had to go in. And I understand that feeling. He got her with the snowball. This is always some of my favorite kills. Honestly, that Yorick's a fair bit tankier than I expected him to be. Probably just built this, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that's a wrap. That's another victory. That's another W. We take those. Sometimes you just gotta put all your eggs in your teammate's basket. I was betting on Misfortune carrying this game. I was hoping for it. It had to be the case because it wasn't going to be me. There's some champs that I am pretty good at. I could say, like, recently I've been taking a lot of practice into Yone. But, I can't ever really say that I'm good or not because I don't play ranked. I just feel good. Honestly, our Camille's doing pretty good too. Actually, our whole team's doing pretty good. Like, my score's alright. I have a decent amount of assists, which I'm more than content with. And just drink my water. I'm probably trolling just a bit because I think I needed to help them kill Heimerdinger. But after I missed my ult, I kind of put this distance between us. Oh, she's going. Oh, she's so good. Just robbed her for kill, but I won in. We did it! It's another solid victory. Definitely Misfortune. Misfortune's must have done the most damage. It's either her or Swain. And she wins. Just barely. Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to how amazing Swain was playing. That was my fault as well. I was so focused on how well I thought the Misfortune was doing that I never saw the Swain. I think maybe we'll change it up and play a couple rounds of Ultimate Spellbook and to see where we go from there. These are my two main roles. I mostly play... If I'm not playing top, then I like to play support. But I typically only like to play support when I'm playing with some type of pre-made. I don't really like to play with randoms because it fills like a lot of the games out of my control. Or at least my initial lane, up until like level 3 or something like this. It feels like, you know, if my partner is good or not, it's completely unknown to me. Because not only do I have to figure out how my opponents are going to try to play, I have to figure out how my teammate's going to try to play. And it could get a bit frustrating. Yeah. There's typically... I guess I could show you my profile here. So I don't know why my mastery... Oh, I guess my mastery score shows Garen because he's my only mastery 7. But as you can see, I play a fair bit of Singed. And although my Fiddlesticks mastery points are pretty high as well, I'll have you know that it's not really a lot to do with the current Fiddlesticks. I do enjoy him, but I played a lot of Fiddlestick support before his rework. I probably will just play Singed again, to be honest. But I really loved playing Fiddlesticks pre-rework because you would just build him with support. It was just so fun to build him full AP, full magical, and just throw my crow at the minion wave and see what happens. It was a great deal of fun. I think I just ban Rengar every time. I don't like playing against Rengar top. Not that I expect to see Rengar top in this game mode, but on the off chance that there might be, I don't want to play against them. Now here's just to hoping that I get a decent ultimate. One of the ultimates that I really like landing on in this particular... So in this game mode, normally you have 2 summoner spells. Like in ARAM you saw I had a Snowball most of the time as my second summoner spell. Which, first of all, that Snowball is exclusive to ARAM. You won't normally find that in this map. However, in this particular game mode, let me move over so you can see that that guy's playing Zed. Yeah. In this particular game mode, you only get one choice of ultimate, or one choice of a summoner spell. And once the game mode actually starts, this other slot will be filled with an ultimate. Or it'll be filled with a choice of 3. And you get to pick which one of those 3 ultimates will be the one that you'll be using as your second summoner spell for the entire game. So there's a Scorpion champion called Skarner, and his ultimate is he would drag you with his tail and pull you. He would go wherever he would pull them to follow him. He would force them to follow his position. So getting that ultimate with this character is really funny because this character makes a poison trail. So I could force them to choke on my poison. It's such a funny combination. Either that or Ari's ultimate, the Fox Girl. Those 2 ultimates are really good on Singed. I really enjoy them. I'll be honest, I don't really like my ultimate choices. I guess it's gotta be Shen's. In this game mode, everybody loves to invade at the earliest part. I don't really foresee this invade going well because we have an AFK, but... I don't really foresee this going too well. I'm just gonna go home. Go to my lane. I just need to be careful. It looks like the Garen has Cho'Gath ultimate. That's also a really fun one to get on just about any character. Because Cho'Gath's ultimate, typically what it is the original character Cho'Gath, whenever he would eat somebody with his ultimate, they would grow in size. And that's such a funny ultimate to get on somebody who's not Cho'Gath, because they just... to see them growing is so funny to me. Okay, got his flash. I think so many people lose in this game mode because they start with 900 gold and they don't know how to spend it. I personally just like building 2 starter items. You get so much health and starter stats, it's ridiculous. He just stepped into my poison for free. If I had enough mana to flip, I probably would flip. It's good enough, to be honest. Probably wasn't my most ideal usage of that Shen ultimate, but it was good enough. So long as the Twitch didn't die. If the Twitch died and I had Shen ultimate, he probably would have been mad at me. I probably would have been mad at me. Uh-oh. I have to flash here. I hope he returns the favor and helps me, because I'm a little behind because of the fact that I don't have any mana. The Garen could just be waiting in that bush.
An ally has been slain.
It's better to just leave the wave here, I think. Yeah, he was just waiting. So Garen's passive is when he hasn't been in combat. He basically has the same passive as the Warmog's armor. When he hasn't been in combat for a while, he gets a little like jump start to his HP regeneration. So even though I saw how low his health was when he initially went in, I probably can't catch him. Even though I saw how much health he had when he initially went in the bush, I didn't know exactly how much health he would have if he came out of the bush. I didn't want him to ambush me like that. I love Singed. Singed, I loved him in Arcane. He didn't really do much in Arcane, but we have our suspicions of what his character is going to allow happen come Season 2. Garen bought a Negatron Cloak. He's building very defensive for me. He's not really building to accomplish any type of like advantage over me. He just wants to farm safely, I think. Which, I mean, I guess. He saw what happened level 1 and he doesn't want it to happen again, I guess. I can mostly just relax. We should do the dragon, I think. Garen gets a little free time, which is really good for him, but I'm kind of... Ooh. I'm kind of betting on our team's ability to succeed. I did have to spend an awful amount of time down here though, so I'm hoping I don't pay too much of a price for that. Garen probably will have a bit of an advantage on me, but I feel like getting the dragon's such a big deal. Our team is doing quite alright. Yeah, I don't think Garen had it worded for Twitch, but I think he just had a lot of money and wanted to recall. Oh, he didn't even recall. Well, he used his whole rotation, so I could just push the wave in front of him. I need to push the wave because he's, it was gonna slow push to him, and I don't want it to slow push. If it's slow push and he freezes, it's bad for me. most of my fun comes from just playing this Shen out, I guess. Garen doesn't want to have any interaction with me. He wants nothing to do with me. I don't really care about... He gets back to lane so fast. I don't really care about getting the armor plating. I'm just watching for opportunities to potentially Shen out. And I do know this Zed keeps trading, which isn't particularly good, but it's probably good for him. Now Garen's drifting. Moonwalking out of lane. They have Nocturne ultimate. I can't see what's happening. And the perfect counter to my Shen ultimate. A shame.
An ally has been slain.
No, I guess that was my fault. I wasn't watching.
Turret plating will soon fall.
I think I saved my Zed right there. Even I was a bit confused what happened. Oh man, I was like, where did I go? I did so in League of Legends. If an attack doesn't break a shield, then they won't die, or they won't recall won't get interrupted. So I think my Shen shield was large enough to stop Garen from killing the Zed, which allowed him to recall. Wow, that's so great. That's what a moment. Poor Garen walked all the way down there. I know I should probably have walked down there, but you know, whatever. I didn't. Oh god, I'm stuck in the minions. The thing is my character is like more useful in a teamfight environment than Garen is, which is kind of why I enjoy playing Singe. Even if I go like really negative on this character, I still feel useful because I just gain so much stats that I just run around and poison people, and it feels fine most of the time.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
I'd probably just build like Mercury Treads or something. I mean, yeah, we could go, but
Has been destroyed.
I don't think we'll catch him or anything. I mean, there's no way we catch him here. Getting better at pinging my team, letting them know what I intend to do. I think our most important objective is making sure we have all the dragons, which I wasn't really around for the first time. No, the second time rather. Oh, where's that? Oh, I pressed my Shen out on him, but I just wasn't there in time. It's my fault again.
Shut down.
I can just get him out of there.
Team has destroyed a turret.
Oh goodness, I thought he would survive. I could have Shen ulted him, but it felt a little bit like a waste, so I didn't want to. Well, he got the Rift Herald. I think we're gonna die for it, but... that's okay. So long as they don't get the Herald. Even if we lost it, I guess it's alright. The most important thing, though, is we're probably gonna lose the Dragon, and that's really what I didn't want to lose. I guess I threw that fight a little bit with my Shen ult just making me stand right there. But that's okay. I took so much damage from the Ziggs. Garen's kind of just... He's playing his own game. He's enjoying himself in his own ways.
On my way.
I've fallen quite a bit behind compared to the Garen because I keep trying to be with my team, and it's proving to not be paying out too well. It's a little bit of a shame, but I don't think this game's unwinnable. I don't think this game's unwinnable at all. Just get him out of here. He's fast. Oh wow. He's really fast. I didn't think I needed to ult there. Garen's just got so much free time in lane. He goes unpunished. Like I said, I don't really particularly need to be fed to be useful with this character. So long as I can string along a nice trail of poison, I'll get my job done. The important part is that we need to be present for the objectives. Which the main objectives is Baron Nashor and the Hextech Dragon. There Garen goes.
Enemy double kill.
What a guy. All he wants to do is hit that turret. He doesn't want to fight nobody. He doesn't want to help his team. All he wants, his whole objective in life, is to hit that turret. And now that I know that, I guess I could have expected that from the start, based on the way he was playing in lane. He doesn't want anything to do with actual team play. He just wants to hit those turrets. At this point, I don't really know what's more useful, but I'm gonna pick Demonic Embrace first. I feel like having just a little bit more damage will go a long way. I can't catch anybody. He has Guardian Angel. I guess playing this way with Sins will only end up really useful if the rest of my team is pretty strong, which I feel like they are, but also kind of not. Like, I feel like maybe we need, I don't know. The fact that their assassin's very strong and I'm not is probably a problem. Because I can't really help. Their Kha'Zix can basically kill whoever he wants. And I can't really stop him. I'm trying. They're so fast. One of the problems of this game mode is if I don't get like a mobility ultimate, then I would lose what I otherwise would have had as Ghost. So I'm kind of down a little bit of movement speed. Now I kind of gotta watch my teammates here because they're no doubt gonna try to collapse on this guy. But I kind of have to be here because Garen's gonna push our turret. At this point in time, I don't mind what the Garen's doing because he understands. Please die. Yes, I got a kill. He understands that our team is particularly weak right now and that their team can probably win without him. So he's just putting himself in a side lane because he knows he could take me out by being in a side lane. If I have to go to match him, then our team is definitely going to lose. I understand the feel of the need to surrender, but I don't think this game's unwinnable. I think I need to build Dead Man's Plate, though. I think I need to diverge off of the path of Rylai's. I'm not gonna... I still need to build Rylai's, but I think I have to build Dead Man's first, because I died just a little bit too fast. I don't have any wards. Oh goodness. Oh man. I guess that's a wrap. Well, we gave it our honest effort, and that's all we could really do. I thought I was applying myself in the best way that I could based off of the ultimates that was provided to me. Ooh, I got my gemstone. But there's probably some way I could have done better. There's probably some way I could have applied myself better. Well, I think that'll about do it for today. Like I said, I'll have my schedule posted on Twitter later on to let you know what's going to be happening for the rest of the week, and every week going forward I'll be posting my schedule on Twitter as well, so you should go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And thank you for anybody who came out and gave you some support today, and